Well, today on Nation, a window cleaners podcast, we're talking about all of the things you need to do before spring hits. It's coming fast. If you're a window cleaner, pressure washer, any seasonal service business, you know it's coming. So stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? If it's your first time here, have a look around. Hopefully you enjoy things, or at least tolerate it. That's all I can hope for. And hopefully you get something out of it. 401 episodes of you to go back. That's 400 weeks we've been doing this. So go back, listen, watch. It's anywhere podcasts are found. Also on YouTube, if you want to have it in the background that way. Go and do it. Review it, say whatever, and yeah. Do all that. Anyway, spring is coming. Spring in our industry is absolutely key to everything. Spring is when things really pop for us. Literally go from like, oh my gosh, I'm doing nothing, to like, I can't not be on the phone. I'm so busy. And that all happens in a flash. Here's the thing. Remember when you were busy, you didn't have time to do a lot of stuff. Now that you have time, the brain is hoping to be busy, but not thinking about all the things that have to get done before spring, because that's really, really kind of important. So what has to happen before spring hits for you? And every area is different. So you may have a week, you may have 5 weeks, you may have a couple months. But there's a lot of things that have to get done and need to get done before spring hits, so you have the time to do it. And I'll tell you, and start off right away with hiring. If you have staff and you're going to be hiring this year, there's a big catch-22. Do I hire before I have the work, or do I get the work before I hire? I would 1000% always get the thing before I have the work. Now I always buy a truck before I need it. It sits there and I look at it and go, man, this truck is making me no money. I need to go hustle and get this out. That's my motivation. I will always hire staff before I know I need them, and that's because I need to get them trained and need them up, because when that light switch happens, I can't be training somebody. I can't slow everything down to train this guy now that I have work. I find stuff for this guy to work, but I need him to be halfway fast by the time spring happens. I need him to be an asset. That is gear. I have backups of everything. And yes, people are like, well, you sell window cleaning supplies. Yes, I do. But you still got to stock up. You should have everything ready before the time. You got extra filters. You got everything is extra. Maybe you're going to be doing water fed this year, or getting another truck, or doing whatever, and you are buying a water fed system right now. It's February, but you're buying a water fed system. That happens dozens of times a day. You're like, well, those guys, they just have money to... No, they have it so that when the time comes and the light switch happens, they can be like, okay, cool, we got this truck set up already. I've already hired, I've got all these guys. Put it all out there. Hiring is one of those things, because hiring takes time. You have to put the ad together. You have to post the ad. It has to sit, and you have to get applications in, and then you have to do the phone interview, and then schedule them for regular interviews, and then set them up for trials so that they can be doing the cleaning for a bit so that you can see how good they are. Well, guess what? That takes weeks. Weeks. That whole process, say you have 2 weeks of them training. You have a week to get applicants in and do that. You have another week to do your interviews. If you went from like start to finish, it's 4 weeks. You don't go, oh my gosh, we're so busy, let's hire. Because now you're kicked out 4 weeks. 4 weeks of nothing. You have to hire before you get the work. That's key. It's key. If you miss that, we've all been there. We're like, oh my gosh, I have so much work, we can't handle it. Got to hire right now. I get somebody new in, they suck. Now they're slowing the whole crew up. I'm getting actually less done because I got this new guy I can't hire right now. It's just, I got to go out there and do the work. And scene. You've been there. You have to hire, and yeah, it's expensive. People are like, oh, I don't know how you hire when you're not making money. Well, I hope, you save some, but either way, you're going to be spending it on that. You have to. Like, there's nothing more valuable than having enough staff to do the things you got to do during the year. And you don't know exactly. But guess what? If I have 4 people working, 2 trucks, and I'm like, you know what? Last year we only ran 1 truck. I got another truck. Everybody's loaded up and ready. My motivation to sell and call and get that other truck working is huge, because now guess what? All I got to do is get the work, and I got the staff and the stuff to actually do the work. If I could magically wave a wand and have 10 trucks, 20 guys standing there, all knowing exactly what they're doing, guess what? The sky is the limit for how much I can produce. I just have to get the work. If I don't have the staff, I'm not going to go get the work because I'm like, yeah, we're busy. Like, I can't advertise right now. How many people have ever stopped advertising because they're too busy? Like, that breaks my brain. What? You stop advertising when you're busy? That's when you're supposed to advertise the most. We're just too busy. We can't. That's like saying my kid's growing too fast, so I put them in a box. I put them in a box until they stop growing, and then I'll take them out. What? Why are you stopping them from growth? Makes no sense. Gotta hire first. Hire, then get the motivation. By the way, I'm not even talking about the rest of this stuff, but get the truck. Wrap the new truck. Have it sitting there and fill it with gear. Buy, like right now, yesterday, I had a guy come in, buy 3 full packages, water fed. He's like, I'm just outfitting the trucks, getting them ready. 3 packages. It's February. That happens all the time. Now, maybe you're not having 3 packages, but maybe you're going to get another truck this year. Buy the gear now. Do it. Why would you wait? Have it. Because guess what? When you get all that stuff, you're like, oh man, look at all this shiny stuff that's making me money, but not making me money. Guess what? My motivation goes to how do I get this gear in the hands of these new guys I hired in the truck that I just bought to go make the money. That's the motivation that does. So make sure it's in that timeline. Another big one, is get your print done. Let me start by saying this. Yes, we have a printing department, if you will. I have a link down in the bio of this video. Obviously, if you buy through the link, I get credit for it. So take that with a grain of salt. But if you're getting print anyway, I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm telling you that you're going to have trifolds, door hangers, postcards, EDDM maybe. Maybe you're going to have flyers or half sheets or service sheets, or maybe you're making new business cards. You're going to have commercial proposal packets. All of that stuff, you do not wait until you need the stuff, because printing also takes time. Print is what you do right now. Even if it's just, what do I think I need? I'm going to need new business cards. I'm almost running out of those. I need door hangers. Talk to them. They'll design it all. You can use templates. You can use whatever. Get the print now. Print can sit on a shelf until the minute you're busy and you're like, boom, take 100 of these. Door hangers, go hand them out. Stuff's cracking off. If you have it, it can work for you. If you don't, now it's like, oh man, things are cracking off. Let me go and design my piece. Oh, I'm going to go through my revisions and design this and try to get people to, and then I'm going to rush it because I'm not going to check it because I need it now. And I'm going to go pay a bunch more money to get something rushed overnight to get printing that I didn't really even check to see if the printing was good. I just had to have it. Well, but Jersey, then takes money to, yes, it does. That's good. Business takes money. I understand that. I didn't say put yourself in the poorhouse. I said get some freaking print. Are you doing yard signs? Do you have yard signs? What happens when that first 70-degree day hits? What are you doing? Oh, I'm going to hope the phone rings. Wow. Neat. Okay. Well, the other companies that are real businesses are going to have their print stuff ready. So do that. By the way, I know a lot of you buy print. And it used to be we could add print into orders. And now it's a dedicated site for print, which is phenomenal. I know a little bit of a headache not being able to do, like, I need squeegees and print. But the print site, you can edit everything there on the site. Click go, and then it's put into production. It's that easy. By the way, I can now do that by sending you a link, or if you click my link, it like tags it to me, and then I get credit for that. And that's phenomenal. But I want to put that out there so that when people are like, oh, you tricked me into advancing my company by buying print through you. The prices are phenomenal. It's at cost to some points, like as close to at cost as can possibly be. It's fast. The people that are in that department are amazing. You got Steve, who's freaking OG. You got Jill, who... Anyway, I'm not talking about print anymore. I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent. Print's awesome. Our print's awesome. Make sure to get your print. The next one... I got such a tyrant there about print. You can see I'm passionate about print. I always get these like things like there's nothing better than the like chemical smells don't interest me, but like the smell of I got new print just smells like money. Like if I get a box, every time I order a box of like door hangers, I'm like, dude, the door hangers, man, I just got 1,000 door hangers. How many customers am I going to get by that? All I got to do is put them out at the right time in the right neighborhoods. How many customers do I get? How much money do these things make me? Yeah, you spend $200. Yeah, I did spend $200. My average ticket's $300. That means I got to sell less than one job in all of these things to recoup my money. I think I'm going to have more advertising, more benefit, more jobs from all that. I love print. Anyway, off. Another one is prepping your trucks. Now, you're like, well, yeah, you're talking about gear. No, I'm not talking about gear. Yes, gear is absolutely important. Buy your squeegee scrubbers, get everything. I'm going to hire 2 new people, buy 2 new Jersey traditional kits so you have total kits. When they come, you just hand them a box. Here's your gear. I know what you have now. If it's missing, I know you lost it. But what I'm talking about is the truck itself. Because here's the thing. I can't tell you how many years in the beginning that I would get somewhere and be like, oh, my oil light's on. My tires are bad. My blah, blah, blah. I really should get my truck in, but I can't pull it off the road. The thing's working 10 hours a day. You can do all that now. You can do your oil changes. You can get your tires rotated and checked and done and whatever. You can do that all now. You don't have to wait to do that. And if that's the case, do that now with all your trucks. What if you bought a new truck because you're getting another crew in, but it's not wrapped yet? And you're like, let's get it making money and then I'll wrap it. No. Because once it's making money, you're not going to pull it off to get it wrapped. Wrap it the exact same way the other truck is, and now you got a fleet. Prepping trucks when it's slow is so much easier than prepping trucks when it's so busy you can't take the truck off the road. We had a mobile mechanic who showed up with his giant box truck thing, like a Mack truck, and he did all of our stuff after hours. It was fantastic. He was a fleet guy. That's what he did. He'd show up at like 5, usually like 4:30 or so. We'd kind of talk a bit before he'd start stuff. He'd do all the oil change, everything after hours. We had to have that. I paid a premium for that because he's on site. The dude did great work. But I paid a premium for that and did it after hours because there was no time I could stop the truck to go put it in to get an oil change or do it myself, which I'm not, as the CEO, going to do an oil change. I'm more valuable doing something else than a freaking $69 oil change I could bring somewhere. But all of that has to get done on the trucks when they can get pulled off, and you just can't do that when they're that busy. We did rust in our trucks. Every year we'd have to bring our trucks in for rust. I was in Wisconsin. Everything rusts away. We did plowing, and every single time our trucks went outside, when they came back in, we had an indoor heated warehouse basically that they parked in the very beginning. We call it the alley. The entrance to the thing had sewer and water. We washed the trucks every time they came back in. And every year our trucks rusted. It just was a thing. But guess what? By the time we saw that the rust was there, I got to get it fixed. It's now spring, and I can't now have a truck off the road for a week while they fix a window or a fender flare or something. Right? Prep your trucks. We're taking things, we have time. Why not use that for when we don't have time? What things do we need when it gets busy that I could spend the time, the resources, the whatever now and not inconvenience myself then? Like, you don't wait till the gun is fired in a race to tie your shoes. You show up with your shoes on, ready, wrapped, running, you're stretched, you're good, you're warm, boom. When the gun fires, you can go. If you stopped in you're like, all right, ready, set, go. And you go, okay, cool, let me put my shoes on. And everybody's beating you. That's not the time to start. You never would win a race ever like that. So what are you doing that in business? Well, I'm saving money. No, you're not saving money at all, because you're going to still spend the money or get the thing done, but just when it's way more inconvenient, and lose money because you're pulling a truck out. Are you adding people on this year? You're going to need equipment. Now or then, it's the same money. Are you doing something or adding a truck? Yes. Are you going to get a wrap on that truck? Yes. Oh, I'm saving money by not doing it now. No, you're losing money by not having that truck ready when it's busy. It's very important. Getting ready for spring is so much more involved than just what people think. People are like, well, I just got to do this at my desk until my phone rings. That's not it. Okay, shameless plug time. Hold on. Before you fast forward, hear me out. I've been doing this for 400 weeks straight. I would love to get a little bit of cheddar, a little bit of money by putting your order in. And it costs you nothing extra. Literally, you can just text me, yo, Jersey, it's in my cart. And if you click save this cart, I can see it. Or you don't even have to save a cart. Tell me the items you want to get ordered, and I can put them in. Like this, a sea sponge. How many people have a sea sponge sitting at their desk? I do. For another video. Anyway, I want to put your orders in. Shameless plug, yes, but it works. Eventually, I will get you to order through me. And I want every order. So many of you, I see every order that comes in. I check through orders 100 times a day because it's part of my job. I can see all the names coming in. And I look at them like, man, I used to put this guy's orders and now he's ordering himself. Wah, wah. I didn't add value. I got to add value. And I want to put your orders in. So let me do that. 862-312-2026. If you're on the job and you didn't save my number, I'm going to give it to you again in 1 second. So pull your phone out. But in the meantime, go to the American Window Cleaner magazine website. It's awcmag.com. You've seen the logo like all over. The magazine is phenomenal. It is by window cleaners, for window cleaners, all about window cleaning. New products, new gear, awesome pictures, cool people, and of course the sticker sheets all to your door every single month, and it costs like $69. Like that's less than an hour's work. And you get an entire year of magazine. Plus, you're helping the industry. And speaking of helping, here's my number again. If you have your phone out, save it. I'm the only Jersey you know, I think. But my number is 862-312-2026. There you go. Shameless plug over. But I have to, afford food and take my, family on to the grocery store, Anywho, another thing you have to do before spring hits, I bet you don't even have. I'm willing to bet money you don't have this. But it's your advertising calendar. I used to call it a marketing calendar, and people go, well, marketing is passive and advertising is active. It's an advertising calendar. But I want to have everything laid out and ready so that when I get busy, I have to take 3 to 5 seconds to look and go, what am I doing today in my advertising? Cool, I got to do this, this, and this. Let's do it real quick. Throw it out there. The problem is you don't advertise. Everybody's trying to advertise right now, actually. They're like, hey, it's so slow. Like, I got to advertise. No. You don't advertise when it's slow. Because it's slow for a reason. People don't want window cleaning right now. If you're getting snow or ice, no one's like, yeah, I'd like to clean my windows during this blizzard. They don't do that. You know that. When spring happens, everybody calls. Why? It's in everybody's brain. But when you get busy, too busy, in fact, it's very hard for you to go, hey, I'm so busy right now. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're changing our ads. You're like, I got to stop the ads. I can't keep up. Or even worse, a month goes by and you're like, oh man, I didn't do any ads I was just too busy. You've done yourself a disservice. You've not made or grown enough that you could have done by having this all laid out. The benefit and the most amazing thing to having an advertising calendar is that when you have that advertising calendar, It gets done regardless if you're busy, if you're slow, if you're whatever, because it's there. You look, it's part of your systems. You look at it every single day. What do I do? And it could be something as stupid as like posting on Facebook. Post a post on Facebook. I want to do that 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Boom. I'm going to put that on the calendar because when I look at it and it's a Monday, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, I got to post real quick on Facebook. I can go do that and I know it's getting done because I'm doing everything on the list. If you don't have listed items like that, then all you're doing is you're like, oh man, it's so busy. I'm not thinking of advertising. I'm thinking about how busy it is. When it's slow, it's like, oh man, it's slow. I got to advertise. Man, it's slower than last year. I really should. Then you do stuff. And then at that point, it's too late. And then you go through the whole year and you're like, man, I didn't even advertise last year. Well, okay. Not that that's wrong, but you want, and none of you can disagree with this fact. But if you don't advertise because you're busy, because you shut it down, because you just didn't get to it or you didn't whatever, you're like, well, I'm really busy. You are. But no one would argue the fact that they would be busier if they had also advertised. There's so many people who take this weird high horse thing on Facebook. They'll jump on and be like, we don't advertise and I got work all week. Neat. Guess what? You'd have work for 2 crews if you were advertising or doing this the right way. Maybe you had SEO going on top of that. Like you just making things work, it's kind of falling into place for your job. Great. But we're talking about super growth. The other guy's advertising. The other guy's bigger than you. Because that. He advertised. That's really kind of the key. So build out your advertising calendar. It absolutely makes sense to do. And it's so important to do. So many people don't because it's the boring part. It's the systems thing. Systems are boring. I know that. And I talk about them a lot. But you want to know what one of the most important things for your business is systems. It's boring, I know. But putting that into play, making it be part of your thing, it's like the tickler folder. If you don't know what that is, by the way, every time I say this, people laugh, but it's called a tickler folder. And what it is it's a accordion folder with every day of the month. And any person you talk to for route, jobs, anything, I'm like, oh, I'm going to call them, a week from today. I put it, slip in there. Every day I'm going to check that. It's part of my thing. I check it, I open it, I see what I have to do for the day, and I do that thing. It's there. These systems are so boring, but they're so valuable. When you look at these companies, you're like, man, how did this other guy, how did he do so much? Like, how did he get to this point? This is crazy. I can't possibly believe it. Well, he did the things that he needed to do. Like, that's part of it. It's tough to get that in your mind, but it's absolutely important. Build out your advertising calendar. I'm telling you. But by the way, you want to know how to start an advertising calendar? Just list all of the things you want to do in advertising this year. That's it. Just list them out. What things are you going to do? And now you put them in. Okay, I want to do Facebook 3 times a week. Cool, put it in. Schedule it out. It will happen. Emails and other automated stuff, it's perfect. You can just automate it. But you don't have to do that. Okay. The next thing that you need to do before spring hits is part to do with systems. But I have a challenge for you this year. I want you to be the strongest, most profitable company you could possibly be with the least amount of headache. Because I want you to be happy. I know you can do it. I know even how awesome your company is right now. I know that by the end of this year, you could be even awesomer. And I'm pretty sure you want to be awesomer. And that is to not let anybody out of your web. That's like a weird way to say it, but it kind of is what we're trying to do. If I have a new customer and they come in and go, well, I got a new customer, and I never talk to them again, I've lost it. The way that you get big is that everybody that comes in is a lifetime member. Not a, hey, call us when you need us. No. It is a, we are going to have you every 6 months. And that comes down to the dentist close. If you don't know what that is, I've done shows on it. I'm not going to touch on that too much. It's just this. At the very end, you say, okay, great, everything looks good. You go through your whole spiel. Oh, my gosh, it looks so good and so nice. Okay, and did you want to get your next window cleaning done in 3 months or 6 months? Just like the dentist, you're going to get them in 6 months. That means that every new customer you do, every dollar you spend on advertising, every drip of sweat you put in to getting more customers, that person is now in your web, and that means they are getting their service done every 6 months. That means that is February, and you got hundreds of thousands of dollars in the books for this year already. Then when they're in your web, guess what? They like you, love you, trust you. Hey, guess what? We also do house washes. We also do gutter cleaning. I couldn't help but notice you got some trees growing out of your gutters, and we'd love to do that. Oh, yeah, let's do it. They're in your web. They're using you. If they're rescheduled in the dentist close, they weren't forgetting you because you're keeping up with them. You're sending them regular emails. You're sending them things to stay relevant so that they know who you are and they just trust you. They're not going to find somebody else. If you don't have them put in there, guess what? Next time they need a window cleaning, you go, oh, they're going to remember us. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't have anything written. What was that company we used again? They're going to find somebody and be like, oh, or they're going to look at them and be like, I just need window cleaning. And they forgot that they used somebody before in the past because it's usually like a couple years. And even that, in the typical 2-year rotation of customers thinking about it on their own, it's because the windows get dirty in 2 years. Now you got 2 years of dirt. I cleaned them 4 times in the time that you did 1. I made them happy 4 times. Now they're looking forward to this. For you, they're just like, it's pretty dirty. Let's get it. You have to get them into that web. If you spend all the time and money to get somebody into your company for the first time and you don't keep them, then what did you do? Like, understand the cost of acquisition. You've heard of that, right? So COA, cost of acquisition, is how much it costs you to get a customer. I'm going to nerd out for 2 seconds, but I'm going to show you how you can figure this out on your own. Cost of acquisition. In Facebook ads, I spent $1,000 last year in Facebook ads. I got 2 customers from Facebook last year. The cost of acquisition for each customer was $500. Now, if those were the numbers, you wouldn't do it again. You'd be like, well, that failed. Well, you probably just did it wrong. But that means that each of those customers cost you $500. Your average ticket's $300. That means you lost $200 for each of them. Now, that customer you may get again in 2 years, maybe. Maybe. And how much are you spending on sending them things and spending time to try to get them back? And maybe in 2 years, they may give you another $300. Cool. I made $100. I still didn't break even because of labor. In the dentist closes that, I'm not going to, you know that the number shouldn't be that bad, right? But say it is. I get somebody in, it costs me $500. That customer is bringing me $600 a year forever. I'm willing to spend more money to get that in rotation. But a $300 here and maybe another again in 2 years does not make sense. In that same amount of time that you made maybe $600, I made $1,200, right? I made, what is that? 3, 6, 6, 12. You made 6, I made 12. 2 years. I worked less hard. I secured those customers. They used me because I got them on a rotation. They're not calling somebody else. They're not forgetting about me. I had that. I sealed it. I made it happen. And now I'm making so much more money. Not even $1,200. I did that wrong. I made $2,400. You would have made $600. That's how much more money I'm making. Obviously, I'm making 4 times more than the average person who comes in once every 2 years. And I'm not leaving it up to them, and I've not spent more money trying to get them back, and I'm not hoping they call me. I took it. There's a big difference between sitting in a boat, in a raft, on a river, with no oar versus with an oar. Big difference. I want to be the one that's steering the boat. I think you do too. I think all businesses need to be steering their boat, because if you just hope it happens, it's going to happen regardless if you do something or you don't do something. That's always going to happen. Say you get a growth of 20% a year that just kind of organically happens. You're going to get that if you push into it or you don't. If you push into it, now you're getting 20% on top of the 60% growth you put in. Don't sit in the boat. Grab a paddle. Steer the boat. Make it happen. But you have to plan how to do that now, so that every tech, every person, every job from here on out, today on out, gets put into that. And that's a big step. But you can do that now before spring hits, so that the script is ready, the way is ready, the system is ready, everything's in place so that it always happens. You never miss it. Anyway. Hey, when you're watching this show, I am in Las Vegas at the WCR show. I hope you're here. If you are, I'm flying home today. It's like you miss me. Hopefully you already said hi to me. So do that. Also, I am a rep for windowcleaner.com. You can text me anytime, and I very much appreciate it. In fact, you could text me if a sale's going on during the sale on the weekend at midnight on Saturday, and you're still locked in if I put the order in on Monday. Pretty fantastic. And it costs you nothing extra, and I make it easy, and you get to make me happy and help me support my hair gel. Everybody always tells me hair gel. I don't know. Look at this. I'm wearing a brand name sweatshirt. There you go. Things must be good, right? Let me do that. It's 862-312-2026. Please, shameless plug, I know, but I want it to work, and I want you to be one of the cool kids who buys from me. Also, if you haven't yet, go to awcmag.com. Get yourself a subscription to the greatest magazine on the planet for window cleaners, because I'm involved with it. And I have to think that because I am the one that orchestrates it, really. But help the industry. Be amazing, just in general. Get things done and ready before spring hits. But more importantly, go out there and be epic.